discuss this is Shadow Sports Minister Ali McGovern. Welcome to the programme, Ali. First of all, do you welcome this news in terms of professional sport potentially returning from the 1st of June, especially football?
I think we all want sport back. What worries me about this is that I don't think we've got enough information yet about how it's going to happen, and we need to make sure that health concerns are paramount in this. But yes, I think we're all missing sport a great deal, and I personally am very much looking forward to sport coming back.
And I would assume also, Minister, that smaller clubs facing financial difficulties, this will be a welcome hope for them.
I think the problem is that there's been a lot of focus on the Premier League. There's been a lot of emphasis on Project Restart, which is really about the elite end of football. Whereas for a lot of grassroots clubs and also smaller clubs, rugby league or League One, League Two in football, there's been a lot less emphasis on making sure that the government helps them through this crisis as well. For those sorts of clubs, gate money is absolutely crucial. So what we need to see from the government is a lot more activity in making sure that those clubs survive. Often they can be a very important employer in an area, as well as being very important for the identity of some of our towns. So we need a lot more emphasis on the grassroots.
At least 6 Premier League clubs have been opposed to the idea of neutral venues, Minister. And in the last half an hour, the Chief Executive of the Premier League, Richard Master, has said that they are supporting those clubs to persuade the authorities to reconsider home and away venues if the season resumes. Do you agree with that?
Well, I've sent a letter to the Sports Minister. As the Shadow Sports Minister, I've sent a letter to the Sports Minister today detailing 20 questions that I think that we need the answers to, and venues is a part of that. So a lot of other things too. I think the government need to make sure that they've taken evidence independently from football's doctors, from its medical experts. I think we need to know how many tests this will require, and a whole range of other vital pieces of information that, until we have those, I think lots of people will feel uncomfortable about going forward. And it will be important when football's able to come back to know that it's being done in the best way, and that we're not going to put at risk that return of football, that it's not going to have to be stopped again. So I would really like the government to answer my questions and reassure us all that it's safe to go ahead.
I mean, clearly the government, have said that they will not allow elite sports to continue if there is any sort of safety issue, and that safety is paramount. But surely they have to take into consideration the amount of jobs that have been furloughed and that potentially could be lost, and the amount of clubs that potentially could go into administration.
That's right, sport is a large employer, and as we were just saying, some clubs can be a very, very important source of economic activity for a town. We all think of, the Arsenals or the Manchester Uniteds of this world in big cities. For lots of sports clubs up and down the country, they take an important place in a town's economy. That's why I think the government should be more open, be more transparent, put the health advice it's got in the library of the House of Commons so that we can all look about it and allow that scrutiny, and then we can move forward together. What I worry about is that the government was slow to give full advice to sporting organisations and to people going along to sporting events on the way into lockdown, and we don't want a repeat of that on the way out. We want openness, transparency, and so that we can all move forward with confidence.
If we move on to recreational sports, we've heard today unlimited exercise. Surely that's a positive step, especially for those living in flats, for example, with no outdoor space.
Yes, we need people, for the good of their mental health as well as their physical health, to be able to exercise. And I think all of us are longing for the opportunity to, I certainly love the chance to run around and kick a ball. And unfortunately, proper sports team games like that, still it looks are a little bit far away, but any opportunity to do sport I think is a good thing. The one thing I would say is that it's disappointing that the government again haven't engaged local authorities, who were often in the lead when it comes to providing pitches and parks and open spaces available for people to do sports, I think they could have done a lot more to engage local authorities who will today be kind of getting their heads around what this means for them and the change in use of their resources. So it's a good thing if we can get out there and do sport, but we do need the government to be a lot more proactive in working with people up and down the country to make that happen.
All right, Shadow Sports Minister Alison McGovern, thank you very much for joining us.